So today's video is going to be on making little Christmas hedgehogs to hang on your tree. I'm making little porcelain ones with little Santa hats and Rudolph noses. I hope you like the video.
So today you will need a knife for cutting your clay, cocktail stick for fine detail, paintbrush, garlic crusher, or a sieve, like a mesh sieve, and some water, and of course some clay. I'm going to use porcelain, but you don't have to. So I'm going to cut myself off a small piece of porcelain. Now that's still too big really, so I'm going to cut it in half again. Now the first thing I'm going to do is roll it in my hands into a rough ball. Now porcelain dries out quite quickly, so I'm going to have to work fairly quickly. If you've got any other clay, I mean if you're using air dry or any other clay really, you don't have to work quite as quickly. And you can see it goes straight onto my hands. So I rolled a basic ball. So I'm now, because a hedgehog has a pointy snout, going to pinch one end to make a nose. And I like to make the noses turn up a little bit, like that. So I've got my basic little hedgehog. Okay, I'm now going to get my other little piece of clay and I'm going to make some ears. Again, teeny tiny little bits. You want to keep them small because if they're hanging on a tree they're going to be heavy. Now they are very different sizes, so I'm going to pull that one apart. I'm going to roll them between my fingers to make little balls. And then with my trusty paintbrush I'm going to put a little dink in them like that. And that's just going to give me that little ear shape. Do the same with the other one. So just put a little dink in it and then give it a little squeeze, and that gives me a little ear shape. So as always, water, and I'm using my cocktail stick for scratching because it's so small, and I'm going to put my little ears on. We often forget that hedgehogs have ears, but they do, I assure you. There's one ear, and there's the other ear. And then it needs a lovely little red nose. So another little bit of clay, roll it into a ball, and again, as always, water, a little bit of scratching. Can you hear my dog snore? Goodness me, she can snore. And then I'm just going to stick that on the end. Got a fly in now. And then I'm going to simply poke him with the cocktail stick, some eyes. So at the moment he looks like a mouse, and we don't want a mouse, we want a hedgehog. So if you're using your garlic crusher, I'm going to move you to one side for a minute, mate. You sit a bit better. You get your garlic crusher. I'm cutting off another little piece of clay. And I'm going to put my clay into a ball, and then it's going in the crusher. Now, if I was making mermaid hair, we just squeeze and have it come right the way out. Well, we don't want that with a hedgehog. We just want a few spikes. So I'm going to push it a small way and then scoop it off. And then I'm just going to put it to one side. I'm going to push it down. Oh, push it down again. Whoa! You have to be careful with your pushing or you end up with a very long-haired hedgehog. Hey, you might want a punk hedgehog, I don't know. And again. I love garlic crushers. This is not one of my favourite ones, if I'm honest, but my favourite ones have got other clay stuck to them, so I'm going to leave them be. lid out. Scoop off some more, put some more clay in. It's always better to have scooped off more than you need, because you can always squish it back up again. A bit more hair. This one's quite a heavy garlic crusher, my other one's much lighter. There we go. That's probably enough for about 3, but hey ho. So put that to one side. I'm going to get my little hedgehog again. I'm going to get him wet. I'll scratch up his surface. And then I'm going to put my spikes on. Okay, make sure you give them a good push. I know you're thinking, oh, I want to keep all those spikes looking spiky. It's all very well making them look spiky at this point, but if you then don't push it on enough, all your spikes will fall off. So you'll have wasted your time. And nobody likes their time being wasted, do they? I'm going to pull that bit off. See how sticky the porcelain is? A little bit more for his bum. And we've got a little hedgehog so far. But I want my hedgehog to also wear a Santa hat because, you know, Christmas and all that. So again, roll it into a ball. And again, we're going to pinch one end, which gives us a little hat shape. Bob it down like that with your finger and you'll get a little flat bit. And then water and scratch it before you attach it. Put the little hat on and then little ball on the end of your hat. For his little bobble. Now you've got your little hedgehog in a Santa hat. Now I actually think it's nice to leave a little bit of fingerprinting on this because it'll give you a little bit of texture for your hat. Now, to be able to hang him on a tree, he needs a loop on his back. Now, I use Niachrome, which is a type of wire that you can buy that can go into the kiln. But I know not everybody will have Niachrome lying around. So roll a thin sausage. Doesn't have to be big. Water again. And then just put that little loop onto his back. And then you can thread through it with some string. And you'll be able to hang it on the tree. Now, I also like to give my hedgehogs a little smiley face. So again, with your cocktail stick, give them a little smile. And that's it for hedgehogs. I hope you like them. Now, you'll notice he's quite a lot bigger than this one. They shrink in the kiln. And when you're using porcelain, they shrink a lot in the kiln. But there you go, cute little hedgehogs. So if you don't have a garlic crusher, you can use a sieve. I wouldn't recommend using a metal sieve purely because I did recently and I broke the sieve. So you push the clay through your sieve with your fingers. It is harder work than a garlic crusher. I am not gonna lie. Much harder work than a garlic crusher. Also my clay's a bit dried out. So Right, I'm going to get a newer piece of clay. Oh, that's much softer. You can always soften clay with water, remember. So let's try. There we go. It starts to spring out. And then you can just scrape it off. With your knife. And another softer bit. Trying to do it with the leftover clay. And push through the crusher. But it's hard work on the thumbs. You end up with an achy thumb. Or a broken, if you use a metal one, a broken tea strainer. But if you only pay 50p for a tea strainer like I did, it's hardly surprising. So then you can just use these to stick on to your new hedgehog. So you do get a finer squish, but it is a little bit harder. Okay? Follow. Mwah.
So I hope you liked the video on how to make these cute little guys. Simple but effective. Have a great day everyone. Stay home, stay well. Bye.